because Soakeverylane came in with 5th guy a few minutes late, but Hakuna Shimada decided they are here to play and compete and allowed the sub. So we shall proceed here to game 1. And now, unfortunately, because I already hit the stop streaming button, this cast will not have Hakuna Shimada's epic intro song. But here we go, off for game 1 here on Volskaya Foundry. So first ban will go over to Soakeverylane, as this was Hakuna Shimada's map choice. Alright, so Johanna banned out for Soakeverylane, Ural banned out for Hakuna Shimada, one of the very best names in all of NGS, in my humble opinion. Second ban choice now for Soakeverylane. Let's see who they go with. And they ban out the Diablo. For Hakuna Shimada, they will ban out who? Let's So it is going to be Alex Strazaban. No surprise, she is top tier on Volskaya Foundry. First ban coming out for Soakeverylane. If I were Hakuna, words are hard. If I were Hakuna Shimada, I think I would have made the condition for allowing the late sub. Then maybe Soakeverylane has to play like a merc. Not seriously, of course. Rainer taken for the side of Soakeverylane. 2 picks now for Hakuna Shimada. Deckard Cain and Muradin. Both excellent selections. Deckard Cain, the top support, probably left available with Alex Straza banned out. And now 2 picks coming up here for Soakeverylane. See who they go with. Plays ETC. Nice big front line for those guys. ETC can be on the squishy side for the main tank, so you gotta be careful to minimize how much free poke damage you take. Blaze, on the other hand, very tanky. Bunker is very strong. Hakuna Shimada will continue the support choke, banning out the Marion, limiting the supports still available for the side of Soakeverylane. And now an Asmodan ban. That is not surprising. Asmodan currently riding near the top of the meta. Two selections coming out for Hakuna Shimada. Man, this late game is just wiping me out. I'm going to keep yawning at you guys. Let's see who they decide to go with. Jaina and Garrosh. So actually Muradin going to flex his muscles over into the off lane. And a gigantic health pool. Lots of CC on the side of Hakuna Shimada with a Muradin Garrosh. I think Muradin is actually a little bit underrated in his ability to flex off onto that bruiser role. He's not perfect for it, but he does have some talents that he can take to increase his damage. And we're going to go with a Medivh Rhaegar coming out for the side of Soakeverylane. So Raynor has all of the assassin responsibilities falling squarely on his shoulder and his shoulder alone. Last pick for the side of Hakuna Shimada. Will they go with their namesake because Genji and Hanzo are both still available? Should they go in that direction? Maybe not into a Medivh. It's going to be a Lunara. So a lot of damage. I mean, a lot of damage. Jaina and Lunara. Rhaegar are going to be hard pressed to keep up with all of that. Right, just getting these names where they belong. So we have the nice solid intro when this game pops. All right, so we're set here for game one. We have a Medivh, we have a Garrosh. I'm curious to see how well Raynor's going to do in that solo assassin role. He can definitely do volume poke damage, but I'm wondering who's going to actually finish off the kills. Maybe a Medivh portal, you could do it from that direction, but who the actual kill pressure is going to come from the side of Soakeverylane, that'll be interesting to see how that happens. So we are here on game one between Hakuna Shimada and Soakeverylane. The red team are latecomers this evening who managed to squeak in just in the nick of time. We have Philippe on ETC, Hammerhead on Blaze, Tornado on Rhaegar, Incognito on Medivh, and DMN13 on Raynor. The blue team, Hakuna Shimada, has Nova on Garrosh, Wintermute on Muradin, the Doctor on Jaina, Sam for the win playing Deckard, DK Salt on Lunara. So both teams full speed charging into the mid lane where they will clash needlessly and accomplish nothing. Blaze is actually already in the bottom lane, so I really don't expect Soakeverylane to do much here. The sprays coming out, I particularly like the Alarak. I'm looking at you. There is a stun onto ETC and Medivh, and there's the Dwarf Toss and a defensive portal into Incognito having to blink away in quick succession. Incognito here was the kind of last minute sub for the side of Soakeverylane, and he's playing Medivh, which is the hero that you really need to be most on the same page with your teammates. So I don't really know his relationship with these guys, if that he plays with them a lot. We'll see how the team synergy goes here with Medivh. However, the four-man rotation definitely stronger from Hakuna Shimada currently, and with the Jaina, that's a little bit to be expected. So let's go check on this bot lane matchup. Muradin Blaze. Now Blaze is going to win this. Muradin, he's not going to die. He's going to soak out safely, but I'm a little bit surprised Hammerhead not being more aggressive. The wave clear advantage for Blaze is significant, and he could win this lane harder if he wanted to. Both sides have rotated over to their turret camps, and they will pick those up pretty much at the exact same time. The toys on Volskaya Foundry are extremely important. Maximizing the value out of the items, making sure you stockpile them to use them for the objectives is oh so important, because you really want to get those Rock'em Sock'em robots. They're very powerful. Incognito gets tossed away from his portal. A huge play by Nova, resetting the Arcane Rift stacks. He had already used his Force of Will, and Nova just tucked him away from his portal. There was no lifeline there. First Blood going over to Hakuna Shimada. I'm going to resist, but at some point I'm going to say Hakuna Shimada, what a wonderful. But that one doesn't count. We're going to save it for later. Both teams securing their bruisers at pretty much the same time. Blaze and Muradin still squaring off in the bottom lane, and now Lunara is actually hanging out in the top lane. Soakeverylane got here in time to contest the tribute. So they will actually have the early positional advantage on this top pad. Both of the bottom laners are staying down. They are soaking. Lunara is clearing out the Merc camps to allow Hakuna Shimada to have the top lane pressure. Now I assume she will come on down, and she is. Experience pretty much dead even. Muradin or Blaze could rotate here very quickly on the conveyor belts. Both sides kind of just sitting there with their toe in. Rhaegar now is in the top lane. I really want to see Hakuna Shimada get aggressive here. They sent Rhaegar to actually clear out. Muradin now is coming up, and now these two teams will clash for the first time. An aggressive dwarf toss by Wintermute. However, Soakeverylane perfectly content to cede the position, as they have already secured 85% of this first objective. Level 7s are here for both teams, and there really hasn't been too much conflict here other than the pick on Medivh. Both teams are just posturing, securing the positional advantage. Hakuna Shimada was happy to cede the early position. I love this call by Soakeverylane. They waited for the timers to appear on the second turret, and now they are securing that. That will give them an extra turret for this battle. Hakuna Shimada has not reciprocated in kind. Now we're going to have Soakeverylane coming in here. The Gatorades are there waiting for them to be drinking and to heal up. A big-time scroll of sealing, and Raynor is in trouble. The Force of Will does keep him alive. Nova taking a lot of poke. Raynor walking away, and Lunara, DKS, able to secure the kill. However, two turrets here are doing a ton of work, and a big-time power slide secures the kill on the Muradin. Now Hakuna Shimada, though, with Lunara and Jaina, big-time damage going out. That was 2 more kills for Hakuna Shimada. However, their health bars are so low. DKS is trying to kite, and now Doctor comes in with a big blizzard, a wolf bite from Tornado, and both teams so low, and neither side willing to give it up. I think for the moment, Hakuna Shimada has to give this up. DKS caught out a nice power slide there by Philip, and I think that kill onto Lunara will likely ultimately win this first Triglav Protector for the side of Soakeverylane, as they have a numbers advantage right now. However, ETC eats a huge blizzard, forced to withdraw. Hakuna Shimada not giving this up. They are fighting tooth and nail, but their health bars are going low, And that is going to do it. Muradin falls, the first Rock'em Sock'em robot of this game, going over to Soakeverylane. I'm a little surprised, to be honest, once the Lunara fell, that Hakuna Shimada decided to fight 5v4 for that objective. That was going to be a very difficult battle for them to win down in numbers. And level 10s are achieved first by Soakeverylane. It's Hyperion for Raynor, Leyline Seal for Medivh, Ancestral Healing for Rhaegar. I believe that is Mosh Pit. It is for ETC. Blaze has not selected his yet, but I would be surprised if it was anything other than Bunker Drop. Another nice toss by Nova, resetting the Arcane Rift stacks again. So Hakuna Shimada fighting without their level 10s. They have just picked them up. It's going to be Water Elemental, Thornwood Vine, Warlord's Challenge, Avatar, and Stay a While and Listen. So Medivh has had his stacks reset twice. That's a really big deal. When Medivh is able to finish the baseline Arcane Rift quest, that's a huge power spike for him.
Well done.
Soakeverylane, though, was able to take out the fountain in the top. That's going to be a big deal for this next objective, which will, of course, pop in the top lane. 4 kills to 4. So even in that department, a slight XP lead, about a half a level for Soakeverylane. So another turret secured by the side of Soakeverylane. They've actually gotten more turrets than their opponents, 3-1, although Doctor is going to secure their second turret of the game. Nova is holding on to a bionic emitter, so they will have a turret, a bionic emitter, and do they have another turret? No. So 1 turret, 1 bionic emitter for the side of Hakuna Shimada, and only a current turret. 1 turret currently being held by Soakeverylane. So this top objective should pop here very soon. Soakeverylane really wants to get 13s, and hopefully the timing works out so that the objective pops when they get 13. They will clear. The Doctor does get caught in a nice power slide, an aggressive portal in by Medivh. However, the scrolling seal locks him and ETC. The mosh pit is interrupted. A lot of damage going out on the side of Hakuna Shimada. They will be able to withdraw safely and take their small win, securing the kill on ETC. They almost got Medivh as well. He was able to get out safely, though. However, a couple heroics were used there, and they probably won't be available initially when this first objective is popped. Blaze caught out of position in the bottom lane. He does land a 2-man jet propulsion before Hakuna Shimada secures the kill. So some strides being made to even up the experience from Hakuna Shimada, and Incognito might be in trouble. Stormbolt goes out. His Force of Will has already been used. Will the poison damage kill him? No. He is able to tap the Sippy Fountain, and actually Medivh teleported right into a blizzard, and that is what killed him. So 1-for-1, Lunara going down, Medivh going down again. That's actually the 3rd time Medivh has fallen and reset his Arcane Rift stacks this game. Once again, Soakeverylane very much prioritizing the siege turrets as they should be, and they secure another turret for this top objective. Both teams making their way up. Nova currently hiding in the bush, seeing if they will be able to catch somebody out. Hakuna Shimada is securing another turret. ETC does not know that Garrosh is here. However, Medivh will if he comes down just a little bit more. Nova saw the Birdman show up and promptly left that bush. Gatorade's coming out as these teams haven't started the objective yet, but they are posturing over the support camp. That Bionic Emitter can be very powerful. Alright, here we go. Both teams coming in here. Dwarf Toss used aggressively. Stormbolt onto ETC. Both sides have multiple turrets. It looked like Stay a While and Listen was interrupted. A huge power slide by ETC, followed up by a double jet propulsion. And Sam for the win on Deckard Cain is the first to fall. Welly goes out. Ancestral keeps ETC up. Garrosh goes down as well. So a 2-for-0 in favor of Soakeverylane. Philip on ETC and Hammerhead on the Blaze really combined to set up a huge engagement there. Deckard Cain had absolutely no shot and went down very quickly. However, with a death timer still fairly low, Hakuna Shimada will, I believe, have the opportunity to contest this if they want to. Gonna be close. All members now up. Both teams sitting at level 15. However, level 16s will be arriving very shortly, and it looks like Hakuna Shimada will not try to contest. And the second Triglav Protector of the game will be secured by the side of Soakeverylane. Even in kills, both of the protectors being secured by the side of Soakeverylane, though, has leveraged them into an XP lead and a structural lead. But they burned that Triglav Protector very quickly. Ice Block coming out to Jaina, it does not matter. The gunner position, Blaze from the gunner position, able to secure the kill. The good Doctor stepping out a bit too far on Jaina. And the front wall in this top keep goes down. Let's see if Soakeverylane is going to stick around there or not. They're going to portal away. And now they're going to start manipulating the map with this level 16 advantage. I assume they're going to go to take out the mid lane and then immediately onto the aggressive turret. That's what the call needs to be. Stockpile these turrets, and it is. Wintermute has no hope of contesting this. Neither does Hakuna Shimada. So once they secure this turret and their own, they will be standing on 3 turrets and a biotic emitter. That's quite a collection that Soakeverylane will have. No items on the side of Hakuna Shimada, so they want to be very aware of that. Last game I casted, one of the teams fought into double turrets, and they actually outplayed their opponent in the team fight itself, but the double turrets just completely crushed. Really cannot ignore those turrets. They do a lot of damage. You have to be hyper aware when the other team uses it. So Hammerhead is going to go ahead and start the bruiser camps in the top lane for Soakeverylane. Hakuna Shimada, they seem a little indecisive, trying to figure out where they should be going, what they should be doing. They are on the same talent tier, so now's the time to try to find a fight. However, when there is a Medivh on the other team, it's basically impossible, if Medivh plays properly, to catch them off guard. You can't push them, you can't launch a surprise attack or an ambush of any kind. And Medivh does what he's supposed to do, not so much land directly in the middle of the enemy team. However, when you're on Medivh, you really want to stalk the other team's main tank, because that's the giveaway. So Muradin or Garrosh would suffice here. However, ETC taking a lot of poke damage. Wintermute aggressively going in, trying to body block him in there. He is able to portal to safely, and now Hakuna Shimada putting some siege pressure here in the bottom lane. Blaze is showing in top, so I expect Hakuna Shimada to pressure this even more, or are they going to go get the top bruisers? This one is waiting to be capped. That's a really wise decision by Soakeverylane. Blaze earlier did already get it, so this top camp will be secured by Soakeverylane, and they're going to get a second biotic emitter. So the side of Soakeverylane will have 3 turrets, 2 biotic emitters, and a bruiser push in the top lane. So they actually, it looks like, dropped a turret to pick up the biotic emitter. So let's see. 2, soon to be 3 turrets for Hakuna Shimada. Soakeverylane has positional advantage as well as leverage in the top lane. And 2 biotic emitters and 2 turrets. Aggressive positioning here by the side of Hakuna Shimada, however, a good retreat and disengage from the side of Soakeverylane. They really have the time factor on their side. Looks like Rhaegar is going to be side soaking till 20. That top lane is pushing out. And remember, there is no wall in this top keep for the side of Hakuna Shimada. So that map pressure in the top lane is going to definitely get some value. Very, very good patience by the side of Soakeverylane, picking up another turret. Medivh actually had to go over there and pick it up because none of his teammates could. This is excellent, excellent patience by Soakeverylane. They have now level 20s, have plenty of time to contest this objective. They have top push here. I mean, this is just a great spot they put themselves into. Turret goes out from the side of Hakuna Shimada, as it does for the side of Soakeverylane, and now is the engagement. A taunt onto ETC holds him there, and he almost goes down, but a huge Ancestral coming out, as well as a bunker to save him. Philip still taking a ton of damage. Wintermute Dwarf tosses out at the last minute. Neither side able to secure a kill. Everybody other than ETC used their heroics. And once again, Hakuna Shimada will not give up this objective. They are coming in. They are going to lose top keep, though. That keep is going to go down to those merc camps. And there's another huge engage. ETC once again just eating a ton of damage. He has not been able to play very aggressively for that reason. Actually, it's Hammerhead that goes down, but a 2-man mosh pit followed by the Torbus, catching 3 more. Ice Block coming out from the Doctor, but Garrosh and Muradin both falling. Really, and now Deckard Cain. This is getting to be really bad for Hakuna Shimada. We really have to take our hats off to Philip K on ETC there. He got chunked hard time and time again, but he managed to hang in there, not get dead, and then not only did he not get dead, he landed a 2-man mosh pit and then immediately rode the Torbus into a 3-man mosh pit, and it completely changed the dynamics of that team fight. I would make the argument that ETC has the most dynamic, the most versatile level 20 storm talents of any hero in this game, and when there is an ETC on the other team, you absolutely have to be aware of what he takes at level 20. If it's a Death Metal or Torbus or Bolt of the Storm, all of those have playmaking capabilities that you have to be aware of on the other side. So I was wrong. Top keep did not go down yet. It is very low though. Bottom keep did fall to the Protector, and now with 48 seconds left on this Protector, I think they're going to take down mid fort and then probably just go up to the top lane and finish off that top keep. Still 30 seconds left on this Triglav, so they have a lot of time. To be honest, there really just isn't anything Hakuna Shimada can do to stop this, so that is a double keep play. Level 22 to level 19, a 3-level lead for the time being for the side of Soakeverylane. Only about 10 seconds left on this Protector. They did try to engage onto the Deckard, however, the root from the Rock'em Sock'em Robot was not able to land, and now Soakeverylane will withdraw after getting absolutely maximum value out of that Triglav Protector. Let's take a look at that mini-map, ladies and gentlemen. All of the defensive structures for Soakeverylane are up, and the opposite almost true. Only one left for the side of Hakuna Shimada. They need to basically win back-to-back huge team fights to get back in this game. They are in a terrible situation. one of their heroes is going to have to be on goaltending duty pretty much all the time, and this is going to be the bush to win the game. BTC comes out of the bush. There is Blaze. Blizzard going out. A stay a while and listen catches 2. However, Nova finally goes down. Mosh Pit holds in the Doctor and Wintermute. Only Garrosh has fallen so far, but Hakuna Shimada is on the run, and an aggressive portal in. Wintermute trying to stay alive. There's the power slide. There's the face melt. There is the kill. The Doctor, however, put a ton of damage into there, and maybe the poison gets ETC. No, he does have block party. Or, I'm sorry, not block party. What in the world is ETC's heal talent called? I'm totally blanking. But he's able to self-heal. And I'm kind of surprised they don't just core call here. Instead opting to take the siege camp. No, now the core call finally being made. I mean, they're level 22. There's no shields on this core. They could burn through this thing very quickly if they wanted to. However, they're wasting a lot of time to bring in these minions, and now Garrosh will be up. It's going to be a 5-on-4. Jaina really went to town onto Raynor, but unable to secure the kill. And Jaina falls. A 3-man taunt onto the members of Soakeverylane. However, it is not going to matter. Raynor and Rhaegar are locked onto this keep, and it is rapidly falling. Game 1 going over to Soakeverylane in a pretty controlling fashion, actually. They kind of controlled that game cover to cover, and now they will be looking to pick up their first 2-0 domination of the season. Hakuna Shimada hoping to pick up the split and end round 1 at 3-3. Other than some early Medivh deaths, that game was kind of all about Soakeverylane. However, Game 2 will be played in a very different environment. It will be played on Battlefield of Eternity. So let's see if the more team-fighty approach that's common on Battlefield of Eternity is more suitable to what Hakuna Shimada is going to be trying to do. Just gotta get... Alright, so in a... So, as soon as both of these teams are in here, we will get going for Game 2. So let's talk about Battlefield of Eternity. 2-lane map, my humble opinion, the only 2-lane map in the game that's worth anything. 2-lane maps are much harder to balance. But any hero that can burn a single target, very valuable. Vala's best battlefield, Artanis, jumps into the conversation a lot more here due to amateur opponent, his ability to burn down the immortal. Greymane burns very quickly. Hanzo probably has the fastest burn of any hero in the game. It's not unusual to see Hanzo banned out, I should say, during draft. So we do have almost everyone here, 8 out of 10, waiting for one more for each team. And then we will finish the last game of NGS action tonight between Hakuna Shimada and Soakeverylane. Another hero that I think is actually underrated on Battle. Alarak. Alarak's ability to move members of the other team into the immortal stuns. Really strong. So I wonder if we'll see Alarak here in this game too. So waiting to get the R button for both teams. All right. We are off. Game 2 between Hakuna Shimada and Soakeverylane. Welcome to Battlefield of Eternity. This was Soakeverylane's choice of map, so Hakuna Shimada will have first pick, first ban. Let's see what they do with it. It's pretty common to see Hanzo, like I mentioned, if you watched any of the Western Clash. Hammer was a huge factor, Sergeant Hammer on Battlefield of Eternity. I don't know if either one of these runs a Hammer comp. However, very high-level competitive play, seeing a Sergeant Hammer Battlefield of Eternity. Pretty common. Uriel banned out for the side of Hakuna Shimada. And now we have bans coming out from Soakeverylane. And they will ban out Johanna. That's an interesting. Johanna is never really bad, but one of her strongest suits is probably the best wave clear. So she excels those battlegrounds where you can clear and rotate, something like Dragon Shire or the Spider Queen or Infernal Shrines. There's the Hanzo ban I was referring to. So seeing Johanna banned out is a little bit unusual. And that Johanna ban makes me wonder if that's something specific they're doing, that they don't want to see a Johanna. And there's a Cho'Gath ban. So we're not going to see Cho'Gath here on Battlefield of Eternity. He has been cropping up a little bit more. He did crop up in Western Clash, and it's going to be the awesome new Viper Genji skin. If you were here when the game first started, you saw the Doctor's excellent parody video, and that's going to be a variant taken to taunt out the Genji. But Doctor plays an excellent Genji, and that's going to be first picked here for the side of Hakuna Shimada. Instant variant response, and then a Tassadar. Interest. I wonder who they're. Usually with a Tassadar, that means you're looking at a hyper carry. So I wonder who they have in mind. Usually you don't see Tracer into Genji, but Tracer, Volek, Greymane, any of those fit that bill. 2 picks coming out now for blue, and it's going to be Muradin, Malfurion. Ban coming out for the side of Soakeverylane. I am very fascinated by what they're going to do to round out this comp. A variant Tassadar is not something you see to start a draft all too often. And they are going to ban Alexstrasza, which is also a little bit weird because Malfurion has already been selected by the side of Hakuna Shimada. Don't think they would run a double support Alex, but I could be wrong, I suppose. If that composition were to be run by a team, it would be the first time I see it. And Hakuna Shimada is going to ban out the very unusual, unorthodox bans from the side of Soakeverylane in this game. The bans coming out from Hakuna Shimada much more standard. So let's see where this comp is going to go for the side of Soakeverylane. Zul'jin is not one you see very much, and Diablo. So I assumed with Varian it was going to be taunt for the Genji, and I think that's probably still where they will go with him. However, Colossus Smash, the vulnerability on the Immortal, adds a lot of boss burn. I think that is a possibility. And Li Ming Blaze, so double reset comp with the huge front line coming out for Hakuna Shimada. I really like their comp. Zul Jin, I suppose that explains the Johanna ban, I guess, because of the blinds on Zul Jin. So they're going to use Zul Jin as a hyper carry, allowing the Tassadar to enable Zul Jin. Now we should have the primary support coming out for Soakeverylane, and it's going to be Admiral Stukov. So it's actually going to be DK Salt on the Genji. I assumed it would be Doctor, but not so much. Alright, so we are loading into Battlefield of Eternity, where these two teams will clash to end their round 1 of NGS Season 5. Let's see how this game goes. So the red team, Soakeverylane, winners of Game 1 in a very commanding fashion. We have Team Captain Tornado on Tassadar, Philip K on Diablo, DMN on Stukov, Incognito on Zul Jin, and Hammerhead on Varian. For the side of Hakuna Shimada, Wintermute on Muradin, Sam for the win on Varian, The Good Doctor on Li Ming, DK Salt on Genji, and Nova on Blaze. And that's a little cute. Anytime you're on Battlefield of Eternity, you really want to look at the teams and figure out which team has better burn. Neither one of these teams has really what you would classify as a typical burner, just a Greymane or a Vala or a Hanzo, one of those heroes that just burns the Immortal down. However, Li Ming obviously is better for the poke and the offensive positions when, or I should say defensive positions. When the Immortal is on the wrong side of the map, Li Ming is probably the best hero at poking out successfully. But I do think in the terms of overall burn, probably will go over to Soakeverylane because of that Zul Jin. Let's go check in on the top lane. Blaze should win this lane pretty hard, and he is. Varian just does not have the wave clear to deal with a Blaze. So back in the bottom lane, the four-mans continue to skirmish. Really no team getting any kind of advantage here. One thing I will say about Hakuna Shimada's composition is if they are able to secure the first kill of a team fight, it could turn into a rout really quickly. DK Salt in a lot of trouble, and he goes down. DMN with the perfect positioning on the lurking arm, and DK Salt wasn't able to swift strike or vault over the wall, shadow charging Diablo to finish off the kill. Nice tank play again by Philip K. So Soakeverylane going to take that kill, and they're going to use it to start working on the bottom siege camp. We will see if Hakuna Shimada is going to contest, and it looks like they are. Aggressive Dwarf Top from Wintermute. DK Salt is on the flank with Genji. A huge root coming out by Sam on the Malfurion. However, now she is caught out of position. Zul Jin securing the kill. but there are likely not going to be any resets. DK wants so badly to go in there, but nobody is low enough to really allow Swift Strike to finish them off. That was unfortunate. Sam was just a little bit too far forward and got punished by the side of Soakeverylane. They are now 2 kills to none. I am surprised, though, neither one of these teams went onto their bruisers. Let's check. What did Varian go? I was wrong. It is not Taunt. It is not Colossus Smash. Ladies and gentlemen, Twin Blades Varian has made an appearance on the battlefield, and that 100% means the side of Soakeverylane has the burn advantage. There's just no doubt about it. Almost securing the first reset. Hakuna Shimada is so close! One reset, that's all they need to flip this. Now Philip will go down. There is the first kill for the side of Hakuna Shimada. However, their Immortal is already at half health. I'm going to be honest. I am surprised Hammerhead didn't just hang out and start burning this Immortal once his whole team retreated. He was coming from the top lane, so he could have just started wailing on the Immortal, but he didn't. So the assassins from Hakuna Shimada are going to start chipping down the health of the red Immortal. And now both teams are here and in force. DK mistimes his jump and eats a stun and forced to burn Swift Strike. That's going to be some cooldown that he is going to wish he has here soon. An aggressive jet propulsion from Nova does not land on anybody. Wintermute being slowed, being stunned, being flipped. The Tickle Beam continues to slow Muradin down. He is able to Dwarf Toss to safety. However, he really got bruised up in that engagement, and it's going to be a couple of minutes before he's able to really participate in this team fight. Diablo does go very deep, though. A jet propulsion counter engage, and it is both Blaze and Diablo that die simultaneously. However, Hakuna Shimada not able to use those resets, and there goes Twin Blades Variant. That is going to be something that Hakuna Shimada is not going to have an answer for. At no point in this game will they be able to race with Twin Blades Varian and Zul'jin. Watch how quickly this Immortal goes down. And first Immortal going over to the side of Soakeverylane. I was not expecting a Twin Blades Variant. I assumed when Genji was picked up for Hakuna Shimada and the instant Varian pick for the side of Soakeverylane, I assumed they were taking him as a taunt, the way to help keep Genji in check, but boy was I wrong. So both of the offlaners, Twin Blades Varian and Blaze, are in the top lane soaking. And Wintermute is in trouble. A nice zoning lawn there by Sam to help Wintermute escape. However, he is still very low, gets slowed by the twin axes. Wintermute is really taking a lot of damage this game, and he is under constant pressure. Immortal Stun does catch Sam, and then she's hit by twin axes. Incognito going in full speed. And a full fort on the first Immortal, that's not something you see too much. Here's the counter engage from Hakuna Shimada. Diablo, I think, overcommitted himself. There's the body blocks and the slows coming out from Muradin and the Stormbolt. However, Philip is able to walk away. They are still in pursuit, though. There's the Swift Strike in. He does eat a stun into the wall. However, they're finally able to secure the kill on both Diablo and then Tassadar. Wintermute finally falling as well. A 2-for-1 team fight win for Hakuna Shimada, and maybe that's just the little confidence boost they needed, because they have been on their heels most of both of these games. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a Twin Blades Blaze laning matchup, so I don't know who wins that. I would assume it would be Blaze, but I'm not 100% positive. Hammerhead goes away from the camp and then just goes right back into lane, allowing the Bruiser camp to leash. The level 10s are going to be here any moment now for Soakeverylane. Hakuna Shimada has secured their Bruiser camps, and now they're posturing into the bottom lane to clear out the siege camp of Soakeverylane. That way these mercs will be pressuring during the objective. They're, I think, going to have to concede halftime, or at least the first part before halftime, as their level 10s are not quite here. We have Force Wall. That's going to pair very well with Diablo. Flailing Swipe, Shield Wall for Varian, Apocalypse for Diablo, and As Dingo for Zul'jin. Level 10s now are on the boards for Hakuna Shimada. It's going to be Dragon Strike, Bunker Drop, Twilight Dream, Avatar, and Wave of Force. However, Soakeverylane for the second game in a row, really playing the macro game very, very well. They have double, that is 2 Merc lanes pushing down the top lane. It is going to take Blaze forever to do this by himself. I think the call for Hakuna Shimada is probably, there's an APOC, there's the stun, Sam is in trouble, and down she goes. For Hakuna Shimada, I think the call there was, although Diablo might get counter-killed, and he does, he was actually caught in the Immortal stun, and that's a double stun by the Immortal. Dragon Blade getting plenty of work done due to the Immortal landing double stuns there, and now Stukov running for his life. The slowing booger might keep him alive. It's gonna be close, and they are able to finish the kill. However, Twin Blades Varian gets the counter kill onto Muradin, so that's 3-4-1. That's the kind of thing I foresaw happening in the early game. Now, Windblades going on to the Good Doctor, members of Hakuna Shimada there to deter further aggression. Once Hakuna Shimada there got that first kill, they were really able to roll it from there. DK Salt, though, was very low. Muradin just now showing up, and the only thing that Hakuna Shimada was able to do with that teamfight win was clear up the top lane. DK Assault is still pretty low in health. APOC will be back up in 10 seconds, and then I assume these teams will crash into each other one more time. Here it is. This time DK Salt looks to be the target. He does have the slowing booger on, forced to ninja jump to safely. There's the wall. There's the jet propulsion. APOC going out. Silence Twilight Dream going out, and everybody pressing their buttons, but nobody going down yet. All they need is one reset. Taz Dingo does go down to prevent the reset. However, Zul'jin, Genji, Muradin, Varian all fall in quick succession. I don't know who has the advantage here. Doctor playing very aggressive. He actually gets shadow charged by Diablo into the wall, unable to secure the resets. That is a 3-4-3. Both sides now disengaging. No advantage gained to either team. They will now both reset, grab some health, hit the City Cup, wait for their teams to respawn, and then, ladies and gentlemen, we will do it again one more time. It will be a 5v5 brawl in the mid lane. Incognito on the Zul'jin timed his Taz Dingo perfectly. It prevented Genji from being able to secure the kill. Stukov might be in trouble here. The Stormbolt and the root from Malfurion locks him down long enough for DK to secure the first kill and the reset. And that is exactly what Hakuna Shimada needed to do in this team fight. They needed to lock in on one person, secure that first kill, and then parlay those resets into a second kill. So Stukov and Zul'jin going down, and for the first time, Hakuna Shimada has won halftime, and they are looking in great position to secure the second Immortal in the game. The RNG gods favoring Hakuna Shimada because this position is very good for them. However, Twin Blades Varian does do a lot, and he is doing work on this. The shields for the Immortal of Hakuna Shimada will not be very hello. Nova is in trouble. The lurking arm was waiting for him, and no way for him to escape that. Nice job by DM and to utilize the zoning tools to fully secure the kill on the Blaze. Wintermute did Dwarf Toss in, tried to secure the counter engage, but missed the Stormbolt onto the Stukov. So Varian is in the he is in the off lane, and he is just going to do work. If he gets onto that fort, it's going to go down fast. The rest of his team is down here in the bottom lane, and I think with Twin Blades Varian in the top lane, they're going to go even in value. This Immortal is going to take down this fort, and I mean, look at how fast he does this. Twin Blades Varian is going to chunk this down really quickly. So Immortal pretty much dead. A double Stormbolt going out on Diablo and Zul'jin, and Hakuna Shimada will cut their losses. Varian was not able to finish off that top keep yet, or fort yet, as Blaze did respond. Now Hakuna Shimada making the call on the siege camp here in the bottom. Soakeverylane knows they're here, and they are contesting. Wintermute very far forward, doing his best to hold the line. And now these teams will go in hard. A huge APOC zones away the members of Hakuna Shimada. However, a huge Dragon Blade by DK Salt, and that is a quad kill. Hakuna Shimada dodges the big-time APOC, and Soakeverylane does capture the mercenary camp, but at what cost? They lost 4 heroes, and now talent tier advantage is over to Hakuna Shimada. DK Salt, a perfectly timed Dragon Blade, and members of Hakuna Shimada absolutely went ham, picking up the quad kill and turning the course of this game in the process. That was a really nice job by Hakuna Shimada, not just to pick up the quad kill, but when that APOC came out, usually APOC in close quarters can be pretty rough. Although all 5 members here, they're rotating up onto Hakuna Shimada. Genji is not here, so Hakuna Shimada needs to run. The root, the net from Zul'jin, locked down Li Ming, and she goes down. Excellent root with the hunting net there by Zul'jin. Landed onto Doctor, and he went down. That was a great rotation. With Genji showing in the bottom lane, Soakeverylane had a pretty good idea of where the members of Hakuna Shimada were, and despite being down in talent tier, they made the 5-on-5 play, the hard rotation. Hakuna Shimada was almost able to disengage, but just able to get the lockdown onto the Li Ming and finish her off. Taz Dingo does go out. Also, Dragon Blade goes out too. They finally are able to kill Zul'jin, and another triple kill. Genji absolutely popping off right here. Twin Blades Varian not able to get a counter kill. Another quad kill as Hakuna Shimada seems to have found their footing. They struggled in the early going this game to get this reset comp online. However, from about mid-game here, their target focus has been locked in. They have been all on the same page, securing the kills that they need to get the resets and clean up this game. They will secure back-to-back Immortals. And this one will be pushing down the top lane. Blaze is already in that top lane. He is prepping the lane for the imminent arrival of this Immortal, and great macro play by the side of Hakuna Shimada to pick up the Bruiser camp, so they will have pressure all over this map. Welcome to those of you who joined us from Murda's game, and thanks for the raid, my friend. You guys have arrived just in time to catch the end of Game 2 between Div A opponents Hakuna Shimada and Soakeverylane. Soakeverylane won Game 1 very handily, and they looked to be in controlling position here in Game 2. But Hakuna Shimada has been roaring back, and they have landed back-to-back quad kills unanswered from the side of Soakeverylane. So momentum really on their side. Aggressive Dwarf Toss in from Wintermute. He does land the Stormbolt onto Zul'jin. However, Flailing Swipe for the disengage from DMN does lessen the threat. A little bit of an early use of the avatar. However, Hakuna Shimada is being very aggressive. This minute 17 Immortal, I don't think they're going to have quite enough to finish up the keep. The Doctor able to teleport to safety after an aggressive Shadow Charge by Philip. There goes the APOC, able to, actually didn't hit anybody, but they've almost got Genji locked in. He swift strikes away. Muradin is going to sacrifice himself for his team, while the rest of Hakuna Shimada, pleased to safely overstayed there for just enough time for an aggressive Diablo play to pick up some kills. So now Hakuna Shimada, they will finally polish off that top fort that has been sitting at low life for oh so long. And now going to go ahead and move up to take the top lane siege camp. Hakuna Shimada in the meantime getting a little counter pressure in the bottom lane. And as they wait patiently for Muradin to reappear back on the battlefield, they will have level 20s first. We'll be very interested to see how they try to capitalize on that level 20 advantage. So Muradin is here. He is moving to join his team now. Soakeverylane, they're trying to find, actually, Hakuna Shimada. Sam needs to be careful. Oh, Sam, don't check the bush. No, there's the Shadow Charge and the flip and the Varian. However, it's actually Tassadar that goes down. APOC trying to zone them away, and DK Salt is going absolutely bananas this game. Another quad kill. I thought for sure Sam was going down. I was going to use that as lesson 1 on why you don't face check as Malfurion. However, Hakuna Shimada, they are there to back up Sam. And now Stukov is going to be caught out. Oh no, staggered deaths are absolutely going to be a problem. Down goes Stukov. And let's see what Hakuna Shimada opts to do with this level 20 and this time. I think they're probably going to take keep and then rotate onto the objective, as most of the members of Soakeverylane will be spawning here in about 5 to 10 seconds, depending on who we're talking about. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Are they going to take this Bruiser Camp first? Yes. So take the Bruiser Camp, take the top keep, take their lunch money, and then go ahead and put the damage onto the Immortal. So Stukov is still not here, and they also don't have level 20. Soakeverylane needs to be very careful. Halftime going over to Hakuna Shimada. Members of the red team rotating up to take care of the katas and the merc pressure, and that rotation, as well as level 20 advantage and the positioning of these Immortals, will allow Hakuna Shimada to basically capture their 3rd consecutive Immortal for free. They will be going down the bottom lane, so they will have a keep there to defend. However, they will not have level 20 talent tiers, not for a fair amount of time, actually. And if you're the side of Hakuna Shimada, I think you want to be thinking game here. This walls are already very low, so there's not going to be too much help from the outer walls coming to defend against this this Immortal. I shall march for Hell's gates. So very strong, very healthy. Minute 22 Immortal destroys the outside walls very quickly. And now the teams really aren't worried about the structures. They're going full bore into a fight here. And I like that if you're the side of Hakuna Shimada, because if they can pick up a couple of kills, they can end here. DK Salt does pick up the kill before swift striking to safety. And still just putting out the damage. They are doing such a fantastic job of enabling him to do what he's doing, but he finally falls. 2 members going down, now 3. Diablo is right back because he had souls. Sam with the big time Twilight Dream there. These shields are already down 4 down to 54%, 44%. And that is going to be game 2. Going over to Hakuna Shimada, able to salvage the split here. And that means both of these teams will enter round 2 with an identical 3-3 record. The way those games went, I think those teams are very close, so no surprise at all that they're going to have the same records going into week 3 next week. We will have probably DK Salt join us here in lobby momentarily to talk about the set and their game 2 victory. Here's a look at the talents for anybody who so inclined to check those out. Very surprised that the Twin Blaze variant, it actually paid dividends early, but late game, once Genji started just going bananas, I think Taunt would have been very valuable for Soakeverylane, because basically, unless Diablo could pin him up against a wall, Genji just had no fear that game. He had no fear of going in and getting the resets, securing the resets for the side of Hakuna Shimada. It felt like Genji had more kills, but it was actually Doctor securing 11 kills, really doing work on the Li Ming there. Alright, so let's see if we can get DK in here. And then after a little chat with our friend DK Salt here, we will close out our evening of Nexus Gaming Series action.
Hello, sir.
Mr. DK Salt, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Got
So,
over first jitterbugs.
where was the turn? Because game 1 was pretty commanding for Soakeverylane. Early part of game 2 kind of felt like much of the same, and then something switched. What was it?
Yeah, that's a strat we've been running on that map that we're super comfortable on. I think the early game in game 2 is a lot to do with the draft. It relies super heavily on level 10, which is generally why we always give up the first immortal. The first game, I think we were just a little tired and a little slow. Felt like we weren't executing as well as we could, and we were kind of unsure about our draft, where we could have gone differently to deal with the Rainer, or if we should just prioritize the first ban Rainer. So that was a little bit just discomfort, I felt like. But game 2, we were in our comfortable situation. We got the draft we really wanted, um, and it felt comfy.
For those of you that don't know, DKS and I know each other pretty well. We play a lot together. We scrim a lot. And I've seen you play a lot of Genji. So I think that's probably the best Genji game I've seen you have in a little bit. You looked really solid. Did your eyes get really big when you saw that Taunt wasn't taken?
Yeah, I was super ready for taunt, um, and it's not super hard to play around, but you definitely have to think about it a lot, and they can aggress on you. But as soon as taunt wasn't taken, it felt a lot freer for me to move around. I just waited for them to hard engage onto the mouth, and I had pretty much free reign over their entire team, just dragon blading them all. Especially the post 20 dragon blade. The last one lasted like 30 seconds. Um, so yeah, it felt like a lot easier to play around. I didn't have to consider as many factors going in. Just dive super hard all the time.
How you guys feeling? I know when the placements were announced, we talked about it, and you were a little bit, I don't know about this. But now 3 sets in, you guys are 3-3. How are you feeling in Div A?
I think we feel pretty comfy. I think we're supposed to be. I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting around the middle of the pack, which is pretty nice. I was a little more nervous. I'm comparing it to the old Division 1 for Chair League is kind of what I thought it would be more like, which is closer to Heroic/Storm right now for this because they had much less divisions. But no, I'm pretty happy with where we're at and our competition. We're getting a lot of really high quality close games. I don't think out of our 6 games there has been a stop either way yet, which is really nice. Learning a lot because of that, which is sweet. Looking forward to try and get some of these guys to scrim with us and start learning a lot more.
I think that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Any parting words? Any shout
No,
outs or
no. GG's to those guys. Um, yeah, shout outs to Twilight Dream, making my dreams come true. No, not much else. Well played, all.
all right, DK. Well, take it easy, my friend. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Enjoy the win, and good luck next week. And thank you to everybody who joined in and kind of hung out for a delayed a delayed matchup here. But we did get the game in, and game 2 in particular was a pretty fun one to watch. Stick around, or I shouldn't say stick around, stay tuned for casting schedule to come out next week. Game should be announced this weekend, and I will for sure picking up a couple games, as well as our Regen Blue game times. If you want to come root us on, I'll be posting those as well. If you haven't already, hit that follow button, or more importantly for right now, hit that sub button on YouTube, trying to get to 100 YouTube subs so we can rename that channel something that makes sense. Have a wonderful night, everyone,